Hello, welcome to Soulprint Insights. Thank you so much for joining me today. I got a lot of really good responses from the guided meditation chakra balancing that was done, and so I hope you enjoy that. You know, you can always revisit that particular video and use it as often as you would like. Okay, so I'm answering a question today. Somebody sent me a comment saying, what is the difference between a light worker and an earth angel? So I thought that I would address that today, along with a little bit of additional information on the indigos and the crystals and the rainbows. So let's start with light workers and earth angels. Now, this is the thing you have to sort of, if you will, recognize or appreciate about both groups. They come to the earth with no conscious memory of the knowledge and the wisdom that they have on the other side. And so they have to go through experiences that help them to remember basically what has been forgotten. Very, very often, light workers and earth angels will have really, frankly, difficult lives. You know, they seem to, I'm sure, suffer a higher degree of illness and sort of life-changing accidents. They often struggle because they are quite isolated. They have a very small core group of people around them usually, and that is because they're sensitive. And so they can have kind of all of this energy bouncing all over the place, because even though they're not as sensitive, for example, as an empath, they are sensitive. And so they often struggle because in order to kind of keep themselves safe and sane, you know, they tend to become a little bit reclusive. And then, of course, they struggle with the whole, well, you know, I'm isolated and I don't have a support system. So they really come to Earth to do some really, really good work, important work, things that they feel are necessary and vital. But they come at a cost, right? Because as they're processing through their life, of course, you know, they're suffering and experiencing the traumas, the illnesses, the isolation, the heartbreak. So there's that. So just the fact that they got here and they're here on Earth already indicates that they have been prepared and willing to make significant sacrifices just to get here. Okay, so light workers, they would be what we consider spirit guides, okay? So, and that's in fact exactly what they were before they chose to come to the Earth. People tend to think that our evolution through lifetimes is like a ladder, right? That every life you get higher and higher than the life before. In fact, energetically, think of a circle, and we can go in any direction, up and down, round and round, in and out. And we do it simply for the experiences, for the wisdom we gain, for the, sometimes just the fun of it. And so light workers, before they came to Earth, most likely were spirit guides. And they can, right? You literally can go from being an angel or a spirit guide into the Earth in a body of, you know, a physical human body, and then 2 lifetimes from now decide, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go back and hang out with the divine energies for a while. Okay, so it's not linear. Okay, so light workers here on Earth were very, very likely spirit guides before they came into this environment. They are highly evolved. They work with the energies of the divine, whether they are there or here. Okay, they have a very strong connection to the divine. They resonate most strongly with the vibration of humans and animals. the earth, as in the planet, not quite so much. That tends to get handed off to the earth angels, okay? They guide people, from the divine realm. They guide them from that vibration. And so when they come down to earth, they actually play a very, very similar role. They guide, people and animals. They are instrumental in helping you find your passion, your path, your purpose. They connect soulmates and twin flames. They sort of work behind the scenes to arrange, those two souls coming together. And frankly, that is something that they ultimately end up doing, I think, to some degree in physical form too. And they guide with intuitive messages. So it's, I just know it. I just feel it. That's just how it should be. Those kinds of intuitive solar plexus gut feelings, those are very often coming from either your own higher self or from light workers. Light workers are, as I said, really, really highly evolved, but they continue the evolution to earth angels. Earth angels are literally angels who are walking around on earth. And there are like millions and millions of light workers and earth angels on the planet right now because the time is just really needing them, okay? So earth angels resonate more with the humans and the earth. So you will often find earth angels in environmental areas or arenas. You will find earth angels very often in the healing professions or religious professions or spirituality, because that's their skill and that's what they're bringing to the planet at this time. So they were, before they popped into the earth as an earth angel, they would be what would have been considered a guardian angel or a guide. So they come and they work with the angelic realms. Okay, so that bottom line is the difference. Light workers work with the divine energy and with the light. They work within the light and from the light, and they understand that process. And earth angels are angels that have returned to earth, and they have kind of their specialties, and they do a couple of things. Before, like, a guardian angel will help you create, for one thing, the soul print. And in a later video, we'll get into exactly what the soul print is, but it's a contract. And they are often instrumental in helping you craft that before you actually return to earth. They are very helpful in helping you discover or find the right circumstances, things that are just going to click and fall into place so that you can move forward on your journey. They send reminders. So often their reminders are things like a phrase in a book, a song you keep hearing over and over again, a repetitive set of numbers. That tends to, butterflies, landing on your nose. That tends to be from the angelic realm. And they also are, of course, able to provide protection and healings. So, again, you can see where a lot of the earth angels gravitate towards their human, occupations. They will also come to you typically in dreams and in meditations. So the bottom line is sort of this, okay? They both have a function and a purpose. It's very important that they are on the planet now and have been, and I'll get to that also in a second. Somebody left a comment, and I absolutely loved it. They said the hippies planted the seeds, and that is really, really super accurate. And it went on before that, but, generally speaking, those who were in that late 50s, 60s, 70 kind of bracket, are the hippies that were planting the seeds and creating the environment for other souls and other vibrational souls to come in. We'll talk about that in a second. So that's kind of where we're at. So I'm going to put on my little reading specs, because what I am reading you is actually in quite small print. So this is channeled. This is a channeled work from Vesuvius. When I asked about indigos and rainbows and crystals, and can you tell me about them? So here is the message. Indigos have arrived, bringing with them a higher vibrational energy. This energy seems or appears faster, so that these souls think and process at a higher vibration. The indigos are the truth detectors. They seek truth and easily sense deception. They search for transparency and an improved quality of life. They actively seek justice and truth in a way that is more harmonious to increased energy and understanding that all are of the light. The higher frequency that they vibrate at allows for an instinctive and intuitive understanding of energies and how to work with them. They hold within spiritual truths that go beyond what would be considered common understanding. Their energy vibration has ushered in the crystals. Part of how indigos are identified, aside from sort of some of those, and those are just some of their traits, but their aura actually has the color indigo in it quite predominantly. So their energy sort of shifted the energies on the earth, and and now the indigos right now are anywhere from their late 30s, mid 40s, down to, they can be like 10, okay? Because it's not like one group's come in and then there's cutoffs and another group comes in. There's blending that goes on, okay? So now the crystals, their primary strength is their ability in alchemy and manifestation. They see possibilities far beyond that which is currently accepted as the norm. These abilities will work towards healing the earth and its inhabitants in new ways. Ways that are far less harmful to the environment. They work at healing. They encourage energy healings in a new way and within a vast number of disciplines. They will work in established areas to improve and lend energy to help establish patterns, and will introduce concepts in areas not previously looked at. So if you're looking for people who are going to reforest the planet, if you're looking for people who are going to make clean energy, if you're looking for people who can figure out how to remove the toxins from the planet, it is most likely the indigos that are doing that very, very important work. Crystals have the ability to strip down, to get rid of the excess, to look for simplicity, clarity, and transparency. They will tend to avoid the trappings of the material while working tirelessly to improve and heal that which is material. The crystals, they are, I want to say, 30s, 20s, mid to late teens in this time, okay? And the crystals, again, they just have the sparkly crystal energy in their auras. The next group that's coming or has come is known as the rainbows. And the rainbows are very cool. They are very, very young still on the planet. Like some of them they're still actually being born. And one of the things that became really apparent, especially to like parents and grade school teachers, was there was sort of an influx of students in kindergarten, in grade 1 and grade 2, who were forever and ever and ever drawing rainbows. It was just what they did. And all of a sudden, everybody was like, what is with the rainbows? Well, it was because the rainbows had arrived. And again, their aura reflects that, beautiful luminescent rainbow energy. So they are just arriving, as I said. However, the wisdom and pure love they bring with them is brilliant. They will usher in love that is pure, clear energy. It will be their energy that is hoped will create the understanding that heaven and earth are one. They're just simply one place. Now, there are many who have been in place working towards the crystals and rainbows and indigos' arrival, who were now in their middle and later years. The spiritual knowledge, they've been doing their own work, right? They've been doing their spiritual evolution and growth and understanding. And because of that process that they have gone to, God bless the hippies, I'm telling you, they were instrumental in preparing the environment that was going to be conducive and helpful for the indigos and the crystals and the rainbows to come in to, find their place. And the spiritual knowledge that is now in place has created the necessary energy to assist in welcoming these other soul groups. It is from their parents, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles that energy was created, because they were the ones planting the seeds and preparing the earth and preparing the energy. It is, I'm sorry, hold on, I just lost my spot here. So the indigos, crystals, and rainbows were able to arrive into an environments that have been welcoming and energetically more in sync, so that the souls had the best possible chance of manifesting their global goal. Many of those who work to create the higher energy that these soul groups now have in place have a rich history from Atlantis and Lemuria. Okay, so if you're a hippie, if you're like 50, 60, 70s, you may very well have had past life experiences in either one or both of those civilizations and continents. It is the synergetic energy of all those involved that have ushered in the great spiritual awakening and awareness that is now becoming integrated into part of the earth, the environment, and its inhabitants. So, what we have here, what's going on right now in our world, is that we have huge soul groups of people, the hippies, and that the hippie era was a long one, because they had a lot of heavy lifting to do. They had a lot of work to get done. I mean, it was right after the World Wars. There was a lot of healing that needed to take place, and so they are the ones who moved in. And, again, remember, the 20-year-old hippie in, 1972 was the baby in 1949, 50, that era, right? So you have all of these different soul groups that are moving into position, whether they are the hippies, who are very often the light workers and the earth angels also. Then you have, other light workers and other earth angels. Then you have the indigos and the crystals and the rainbows. There is a huge, huge movement going on to really rise the vibration of the people and the planet, because we do not want to see and witness destruction, the way we saw at Lemuria and Atlantis. And the destruction of those civilizations simply boils down to there was a fight between good and evil. There was a fight between the light and the dark. So that boils down to the we versus the me. You know, the energy had become very just dark and heavy. And it ultimately created an environment where both of those civilizations actually rose up to a higher level of vibration because they were destroyed here on the planet. And we're really trying hard to not destroy this civilization as we know it. Okay, so thank you so much. My first official week at Soulprint Insights has been unbelievably fabulous. I can't thank my subscribers enough. They have just fast-tracked this channel in such a way that is making my head spin. And I'm very grateful for the thumbs up and the views and the comments. That is also part of the energy that goes into growing this channel. So for now, I think that's going to wrap up this week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Remember, stand in your power, stand in your light. Bye-bye.